Hello, Chihuahua Riverhawks. We are here to honor and send love to our veterans.
We want to share a little bit about the importance of Veterans Day and how it came to be, and also thank them for their service.
Now, what exactly is Veterans Day, and why is it important? Veterans Day used to be known as Armistice Day.
Armistice Day got its name from the treaty that was signed at 5:45 a.m. on November 11, 1918. It took effect to ending World War I on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month.
It became a federal holiday in 1954, being changed from Armistice Day to Veterans Day following the aftermath of World War II and the Korean War.
More than 41 million veterans have served over the course of the nation's history. 16 million did so during World War II. As of 2021, there were 16.5 million veterans living.
What's the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day? Veterans Day honors all veterans who have served, living or deceased. Memorial Day specifically commemorates all veterans who have died while serving.
Now we know what Veterans Day is and why it is important, but none of us know exactly what it was like to serve during a war. Now some veterans will share their wonderful and inspiring stories.
Hello, students of Tijuana. This is Miss D. I wanted to add my experience in the United States Army to your Veterans Day video. I was regular Army in the mid-'80s, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time serving. I was stationed at Fort Dix, New Jersey, Fort Benjamin Harrison, Indiana, Camp Casey, South Korea, and Fort Carson, Colorado. I served during peacetime, sort of. I mean, the Berlin Wall was still standing, and in case you haven't been paying attention in your world history class, we're technically still at war with North Korea. Civilians are still trying to cross the Han River and are still being killed. That being said, South Koreans are some of the nicest people on earth, and Korean food is awesome. Want to find out for yourself? If you've not made a commitment to a college or trade school yet, I hope you consider the military. They feed you, clothe you, send you around the world. If you make the right enlistment choices, you can even earn that money for college or trade school. If I can do it, you can do it. Specialist DeGarmo, out.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. To support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. And to bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. That I will obey. The orders of. The President of the United States. And the orders of. Those officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
We celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. The armistice that began on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The timing of this holiday is quite deliberate in terms of historical fact. But somehow it always seems quite fitting to me that this day comes deep in autumn, when the colors are muted and the days seem to invite contemplation. It is, in a way, an odd thing to honor those who died in defense of our country, in defense of us, in wars far away. The imagination plays a trick. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise, but most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is remember. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. In memory of those who gave the last full measure of devotion, may our efforts to achieve lasting peace gain strength. Let us make a vow to our dead. Let us show them by our actions that we understand what they died for. Strengthened by their courage, heartened by their value, and borne by their memory, let us continue to stand for the ideals for which they lived and died.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. We shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
What amazing stories. It is important that we have a basic knowledge on why Veterans Day is important. Because of our veterans. They sacrificed their lives for this country so that we have freedoms in every aspect of our life.
Thank you, veterans, for your service.